Hey everyone, welcome. So, when you think about solar power in Florida, what comes to mind? Probably the blazing hot sun of a July afternoon, right? Well, what if I told you the real secret to getting a $0 summer energy bill actually starts right now, in the winter? It sounds a little backward, I know, but stick with me. Let's dive into this surprising blueprint for solar savings.
So let me just ask you straight up, what do you think is the best season for racking up solar savings here in the Sunshine State? The answer is probably not what you're expecting. The obvious answer is summer. I mean, it makes sense, more sun, more power. But here's the thing. Seasoned solar owners, they know the smart answer is actually winter. And that is a secret we're going to unpack today. How these cooler, clearer months are your absolute golden ticket to huge energy savings.
And that brings us right to solar's surprising secret weapon. It all comes down to a simple little fact of physics that just happens to work perfectly in Florida's favor.
It's this perfect combination right here. See, on one hand, solar panels are actually more efficient in cooler weather than they are in extreme heat. Kind of weird, right? But it's true. And on the other hand, your home's biggest energy hog, yep, the air conditioner, is finally taking a much-needed break. So you put those two things together, and you get what I like to call the perfect storm for generating a massive energy surplus.
This all leads to something we can call the winter energy cycle. It's a really simple but powerful process that happens while most of the country is, bundled up in scarves. So let's break down exactly how it works.
It's basically a three-step dance. Step 1, your home's energy consumption plummets. No AC, right? Step 2, your panels are just humming along, efficiently cranking out tons of clean energy in that cool air. And step 3, the difference between what you make and what you use, the surplus, gets sent right back to the power grid. But that energy doesn't just vanish into thin air.
Nope. In fact, that surplus energy becomes your very own personal savings account for electricity. Think about that for a second. You are literally banking your sunshine to use whenever you want. This is where the real magic happens.
Now, the official name for the policy that makes this all possible is called net metering. Here's the crucial part. Utilities like FPL, Duke, and TECO are required to give you a one-for-one credit for every single extra kilowatt hour you produce. It's the bedrock policy for solar owners, the rule that makes this whole strategy work. This chart just perfectly illustrates what's happening in the winter. Look at that. Your solar production is way up here, while your home's consumption is way down there. And that huge gap between the two bars, that's your surplus. It's pure profit going straight into your energy credit bank. You're stocking up for later. Okay, now let's flash forward to summer and see the big payoff. The whole situation flips on its head. Your AC is running nonstop, so your home's consumption skyrockets. But instead of paying for all that extra power out of your own pocket, you just draw from the credits you banked all winter long. This is how you get those beautiful $0 energy bills in the middle of August. But, and this is important, just planning for today's weather really isn't enough anymore. We have to think about the future, because our climate is changing, and that means our energy needs are changing right along with it.
This quote really drives the point home. With these colder winter snaps and hotter, longer summers becoming the new normal, a system that's designed to cover 100% of your energy needs today might fall short in just a few years. And that means you're left with an unexpected bill you weren't planning for.
So what's the solution? Well, the clear recommendation is to think about slightly oversizing your solar system. Building in that extra 10 or 15% buffer isn't about excess. It's about being smart. It's about ensuring your energy security for the long haul and protecting yourself from those extreme weather swings. All right, so producing power is one thing, but keeping it is a whole other story. You see, solar is really only half of the equation. We also need to talk about efficiency, about plugging your home's invisible energy leaks.
A home energy audit is an absolute game changer. It helps you find all those hidden spots where you're wasting the very energy your panels are working so hard to produce. It could be poor insulation or leaky old windows. The point is, you want to make sure every single watt is either powering your home or going straight into your credit bank. And honestly, the best part? For most Floridians, this entire service is absolutely free from your utility company. No brainer, right?
So that brings us right to your free first step. This is something you can do today. It costs you nothing, and it'll make your home more efficient and totally solar ready.
Here it is. This is the contact info for the free home energy audit programs from all the major Florida utilities. Seriously, go ahead and pause right here, find your provider, and just give them a call to get your audit scheduled.
It is such a simple action that can have a massive impact on your savings. So the biggest takeaway from all of this is this. Don't wait for the summer heat to start stressing about high energy bills. The smart strategy, the one that saves you the most money, starts right now. So the real question is, are you ready to start banking your winter sun